Welcome. Finally, we are here on the yoga mat. This will be our first practice together, and it will be a practice breakdown. So I take you along. I will explain while we do a lot of in-depth details and important things you need to understand and you need to know from the beginning on. So in power yoga, we have a way we can start in a seated posture. We can start lay down. This is up to the teacher. But today, for this practice, we will start in a standing posture in the front of the yoga mat. So first, just standing posture. How does it look like? You look down and you double check if you have a hip wide stand. You take the hip joints right here, not the outer edge, otherwise it would be like this. But the hip joints are here and you go straight down. So the ankles, the knees, and the hips are in alignment. That is our stand, usually always when we are in the front of the yoga mat. So once you accomplish this one, bring the hands together. And with the Namaste Mudra, which is very basic and essential for our practice, we want to squeeze a little bit. There is a way to do it very soft, like this. And then we can engage and squeeze the palms. And you feel, and maybe you already see, suddenly I'm engaging my chest muscles, my side, the latissimus muscles. Suddenly I'm engaging it and I'm much straighter and I feel really empowered. And remember, all those postures will create positive momentum, will create positive force. So if you're like this, there is not so much positivity you're going to create. But this creates courage, readiness, and a great way to start the practice. So place your feet, center the hands, squeeze, engage, and then for the first moment, close your eyes. Take a deep breath through your nose. And then open the mouth and exhale. All the air out. We're going to repeat once again. Deep breath in. And open the mouth all the way air out. Wonderful. Now we are going into some sun salutations. Bring the arms overhead. If you want, you look to the ceiling. And exhale, bend your knees and float down into a forward fold. Now you see, I bend my knees, otherwise the stretch will be too intense in the beginning. And then I can fully relax my upper body. Even my neck muscles, I let them go for a moment. Now with the inhale, look slightly forward. You can place your hands to your knees or chin. And then exhale, you step your left leg back and your right leg back into downward dog. So down dog, as you know, is one of our most fundamental asanas. I want that you bend your knees now a little bit and lift your sit bones. That's what you do. From down dog, shift forward to plank. And because it's the first round of our sun salutation, we take it very easy, knees down, and slowly lower all the way to the ground. Remember, keep the elbows tight to the upper body when you lower. Now you're down at the tummy. I want that you untug your toes and then you lift into an upward facing dog. Look straight to the front and untug your toes and bring it back, downward facing dog. Well done. Bend your knees, look to the front, and 2 gigantic steps all the way to the front. And the moment you're there, relax again. Forward fold. Bend your knees, and we rise. Inhale for mountain pose, arms overhead. And here we are back in our centered Namaste Tadasana posture. Amazing. So now you already accomplished the first round of sun salutation. This is really, really great news. Now, we're going to do it once again. And this time, I want that you focus on slow, steady transitions. Because this is one of our major principles, remember. So bring yourself to a good stand. Center the hands. Full breath in through your nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Arms floating high, look to the ceiling. And slow pace all the way into forward fold. Bend your knees. Lift your spine, look half forward. And then step left and right into your downward dog. Smooth transition. Inhale to plank. Drop the knees. Lower the chest. All the way down. Untug your toes. Rise for upward facing dog. And then tug your toes and push for downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Look forward. 2 steps all the way to the front. Relax. Bend your knees, inhale, gliding up, reach up, and center, namaste. To close the second round, close your eyes, feel the center, feel the push into your hands. Take a deep, deep breath in. And once again, open the mouth and exhale. Well done. Once again, I remember one of our principles is full body breathing, breath and awareness. So when I say a deep breath in, you take this breath in through your nose, you expand the chest and the lungs to its full capacity, and then with the open mouth, not always, but sometimes, we exhale and we really push out the air. Imagine like a wave that you push forward. So you empty the body of air, and then there is another fuel. Good. Now let's continue. This sun salutation, if you want, you do it one more time. Or now, remember, sun salutations have many different variations, but we will get there. So we have to understand, now you mastered the sun salutations, which is often a great way to start your practice. You're warming up, you get the blood flow cycling, you're bringing heat to the muscles, and you're just, creating a certain sense of readiness for what's to come. And it's important to understand that the practice is built on different chapters. So the warm-up, in this case the sun salutation. Now we are moving into some sequences, and sequences means movement patterns which include peak postures. And peak postures are postures we hold, and we find more alignment, and we calibrate, and more detail to the posture. So let's go. Bring yourself to your down dog position. Bend your knee a little bit, prepare, get a good grip, and now lift your right leg up. Inhale, look to the front and try to step all the way between your hands. Now remember, if this is not possible because you don't have the flexibility yet, then you maybe lift your leg and you step halfway to the front. And now we help ourselves, we grab the ankle and we drag the feet to the front. Yes, sometimes you need to help yourself. Once you are in your sprinter position, you can take your moment, get on the fingertips and do not rush it. I see so often people, they step to the front and immediately go up, and that creates imbalance and frustration, I tell you. So get on the fingertips, prepare your stand, take your time, make sure the knee is over the ankle, you have alignment, and then when you feel confident, we go for a high lunge posture, which is already our first peak posture, because there is so much to explore, so much to be aware of here. First, we're gonna go from the feet. You make sure the toes look to the front. The knee is centered over the ankle. Then you can bring your hands to the hip and engage your pelvis floor. And now, very important, draw the navel in and then the arms straight to the ceiling. This is your high lunge posture. Good. Now get out of it. Shake yourself a little bit. This is the breakdown, so we don't have to be too strict with our practice. Once again, I want to tell you, I show you, maybe just observe now, you are in your down dog, you lift the right leg, you look to the front, and a step between the hands. Boom. I get on the fingertips. Remember the principle of the art of slowness. I prepare. I do not rush. And now, when everything is in alignment, my toes pointing forward, my knee on top of the ankle, now I'm gliding up. High lunge posture. And the moment I'm in, I'm fine-tuning my posture. For example, a lot of times I see that people are engaged in their legs, they're engaged in the upper body, but the arms are like spaghetti. Yeah? We don't want that. We want to have full body engagement. That means the fingers are alive. The fingers are radiating upwards. Another major alignment mistake is when the shoulders are dropping down. Yeah? We want to reach the shoulders towards the ears to lengthen up. Okay? So now try it. Get into your high lunge posture. Start focusing down. We always start in the foundation and we work through the body, through the alignment cues, all the way up. And then finally, da-da-da-da-da, you are in your high lunge posture. Excellent. Now we're going to draw the left heel down and we open for Warrior 2. Warrior 2 is one of these kind of postures which you will encounter again and again and again. Like before, we scan the stand. Sometimes, or very often, I see my students and they do Warrior 2 halfway, like this. It's really cheating, let me tell you. You have a yoga mat which is long, so use the entire capacity. Use the field to the fullest. So I want that you step to the front, I want that you step back and you really widen the stand. And then the arms are horizontal and you have a very strong focus to the front. I personally like to draw my palms to the ceiling. And this time I draw the shoulders back and a strong focus to the front. And now we hold and we breathe. Remember full body breathing. Remember awareness which you create and which you expand from the inside out in this Warrior 2 posture. Nice. Inhale, bring the right arm up, the left arm to your left leg. Reverse Warrior. We stretch the side body here. And now simply place your elbow to the knee for side angle pose. Side angle pose and the left arm to the ceiling. That's your posture. Hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. If you want, you can close your eyes. And just be there. Feel it. How does it feel today? Can you experience the entire body? Good. And then get out of the posture, shake it out. You know this already. This can get very, very intense. One thing, when we talk about breathing, full body breathing, usually we breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the nose. Just sometimes to empathize and to release a little bit stress or to release unnecessary tension. With the open mouth, it can be supportive to exhale. Okay? But we don't do this a lot of times. Once in a while when we have the calling. Good. Another thing, if you experience it's super intense, it's getting overwhelming, maybe in the studio or maybe at home, we always have a backup plan. We always have a safe space. And this is child's pose. Child's pose I want to show you now because let's say it was extremely exhausting already and we are like overwhelmed of the intensity of the practice. Now we need to have a moment. What do? We're gonna get the knees out a little wider. We untuck the toes and we send the arms forward, the palms flat to the ground. And finally, the forehead to the ground. And here you can breathe, and here you can rest. We call it child's pose. Let me tell you, child's pose is always an option. I know, I've been there, especially in the beginning. You're like crazily overwhelmed. You're doing postures you've never done in your life. Your entire body is screaming. Yeah. Maybe you already hate it all and you're just frustrated. Return to child's pose. Take a moment. Remember, when we talked about those different asana groups, child's pose belongs to the restorative. We slow down, we ease out, we take a moment. Another thing I personally love to do is I take a sip of water and then I go for child's pose, and you will notice it feels great, it's a relief, and then you simply join. So don't believe that you have to do everything the teacher tells you. Don't believe that you have to continuously struggle. Remember the balance between effort and ease. There are two major principles. Of course, we don't want to spend the next 30 minutes in child's pose. That would be a little bit, maybe too much. But take a half a minute, take 2 breathing cycles, and then you will feel a newfound strength and energy to get back on track. So let's practice the second side. Return to your down dog. Get the fingers wide, wide fingers, really push into the ground so you have a solid foundation here. And then lift your left leg, point your toe, look to the front, and step between the hands. Boom. If you cannot step, once again, grab, help yourself, and drag your feet to the front. Now, we don't rush. Get on the fingertips and already check your alignment. Are the toes looking forward? Is my knee over the ankle? Very important detail. And then, high lunge, inhale. Take a moment, maybe the balance. Engage the pelvis floor. Draw the navel in, shoulders towards your ears and the fingers alive. Front side focus. Oh, those are a lot of alignment cues already, I know. In the beginning, this might stress you, but believe me, by time it becomes second nature. Another deep, deep breath in. And exhale. Good. Now right heel down and warrior 2. Here we are, back again. I turn to your side. Always, even though I'm practicing for years power yoga, I check my foundation. Is my heels, are they in alignment? Yeah, nice alignment. Is my left knee over the ankle? Arms extend wide to the front. Relax your face. The jaw muscles are soft. You don't need to engage them. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then left elbow on your knee, right arm up. This is level 1 of side angle pose. So we do the level 1 first. Now breathe. Close your eyes. Another deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. And now try the following. Hands to the ground and step back, downward facing dog. For a moment, knees to the yoga mat and child's pose. Excellent. How do you feel? That was a first sequence. Congratulations. Now, a sequence, as I mentioned, has peak postures. And every peak posture, we hold it a little bit, and we can understand there are different levels. Not all of them have different levels, but potentially yes. For example, high lunge. Yeah, this is level 1, high lunge. Now level 2 could be that you close your eyes, and now you try to hold this posture with closed eyes, and you feel an increase of intensity and complexity and challenge. And then another way to intensify our high lunge posture could be now that I lift the right heel. And maybe now I close my eyes. Okay, and maybe now I lean a little bit back. Whoa, and suddenly I'm really facing a level 3 asana. For example, let's look to Warrior 2. Warrior 2, nice, beautiful posture, level 1. Now level 2 might be as well, you close your eyes and you go a little deeper into the Warrior 2 posture. And in this case, let's level it up. I want to bring some blocks. They're a little weight, extra weight. We can as well use extra weight like barbells. And now I'm gonna extend with the blocks, and I'm hold and I breathe. And to remind you, now with this sequence, we had pretty much 3 standing postures: high lunge, Warrior 2, and side angle pose. And sometimes we hold them maybe just for a second. Sometimes we hold them for a minute or longer. This is up to the teacher, or this is up, if you practice for yourself, how you feel. Sometimes you want to hold and challenge yourself a little longer, then you just simply do it. There is no right and wrong. They're just principles, and you can play and arrange them so they serve you. Short talk about the yoga mat. In my case, I have a very thin yoga mat because I like to travel a lot and I want to bring my yoga mat. Some of the yoga mats are thicker, and the benefit is that it's more supportive for the knees, especially for the knees. When we have them on the yoga mat, then there is less pressure and it can be just more comfortable. But I believe through a little bit of training, you will get used to a thinner yoga mat and your knees will adapt. And the best thing about a thin yoga mat is that you have a very solid foundation. And in many asanas, that helps you to hold and feel stable, because a strong reference from the ground. When it's too thick, then it can be unstable and you will fall out of balance, especially when we do the balancing postures. And it is really annoying, let me tell you. So my personal preference, a thin yoga mat that you can travel lightly and you as well have a strong ground. Another thing when we talk about yoga mats is that there are some who have lines on. I think in the beginning this can be a great help when you have lines in the front and lines in the back, so you can always, find your ideal position in down dog. And as well, they have a middle line that can help you with balancing postures and to know when you're, for example, in the Warrior 2 posture, that your heel is in one line with the other heel. Or in side angle pose, where we've been, yeah? You don't want this, where the heel is on the left corner and the right heel is over there, and there's a big gap. No. One line. And if the yoga mat has those lines, it definitely helps you to be better with your alignment. Good. This is level 1 of side angle pose. Then, for example, level 2 would be down here. Level 3, both arms forward and breathing, supporting through the core. So, and this level adaptation is highly individual. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to build the readiness, to build the confidence. So don't be stressed if it doesn't work in the first time, if it doesn't feel great today. You will get there eventually. If you practice, practice, practice. Good. Now we mastered the first sequence. Usually in my classes, I will always have a second, sometimes a third sequence. And the sequence is sometimes called dynamic flow or vinyasa. There are certain expressions in the world of yoga which you will get used to, but I like to call them just sequences. So let's get there. A second sequence. Into your down dog. Start to lift the right leg with the inhale and step to the front with the exhale. Now watch this. We prepare for high lunge. I will turn around so you see better. Prepare the high lunge. Inhale. And now remember, we're gonna center the hands, namaste, as we did in the beginning of the practice. I want that you squeeze the palms, lean a little forward, and now try to place your left elbow on the right knee. Now we have the first twist. The first posture, a twisting posture, a really solid twist already here in the beginning. Give it a try. If you have difficulties with balance, so remember, that's normal in the beginning, and it will get better. Now from the twist, inhale, reverse warrior, left heel down, right arm up. And then here we go. We straighten the right leg, we lean forward. We call this posture triangle pose. Here we are. If you feel like already it's really strong flexibility-wise, then please here it's okay. You shorten the stand and then you can go a little deeper, maybe down to the ankles. If you feel, you can always go out now because I'm explaining so much. If you feel this is still too intense, now we can use very wisely a block. I highly recommend you get some blocks because we can use them in many, many ways. Now I can position them and I don't have any rush, so I have time. Position them and now I place my hand on the block. And I feel my hips, nice hip opening here. And I extend my left arm. Now I can look down to the ground or up to the ceiling. This is how you like to do it. Maybe you close the eyes and enjoy the posture. Now I feel it a little bit uncomfortable in my neck. Then I just look down. It's not really any better when you feel tension in your neck. So look down if it feels good. Now inhale, we go back, reverse warrior, right knee over the ankle, and I transition up, reverse warrior, and exhale all the way down. Now, attention, here comes a very important new element, which is called chaturanga. Typically, it's done how we do it in Ashtanga yoga, but in Vinyasa, we call it as well just Vinyasa. So basically, it means hands down, you step to plank, and from plank, we lower down, all the way down. Inhale for upward facing and downward facing. This is the final movement to close the flow. In our case, sometimes we do this Vinyasa movement pattern where we lower down, we dive up, and we push to down dog. We do it in between the flow because Once you are back in down dog, maybe you want to jump to the front and continue with another movement sequence. So vinyasa is sometimes just a transition, and sometimes it's the finishing of the sequence. Very often it is. Vinyasa is 3 components. So this movement pattern, which you will encounter in every modern yoga practice, pretty likely. And as well in power yoga, we do it a lot. We lower down. This is the first part. I lower down completely. Now I untuck my toes. I lift upward, complete up. I draw back the shoulders. And now I tuck my toes and I push into down dog. This is level 1 of vinyasa. Now let's face level 2, because we understand that there are many variations to each movement pattern or posture. So level 2, we lower down and we strict press back plank and down dog. So it's kind of a push-up related to the yoga practice. If it feels already too much, you can always lower the knees, draw the sit bones out, now lower halfway and press back. When do you need to use your knees when you lower down? There is a clear indicator when you need to do it, and that is when you collapse with your hips. I demonstrate you now very clearly what it means to collapse with your hips, okay? So you're here, you want to go for your vinyasa movement, so you shift to plank, and now you lower down, but you don't have the strength yet in the core, and you collapse with your hips, and your upper body follows in the end. This is not good. This is unnecessary tension for your lower spine. So better to do, shift to plank, lower the knees, draw the navel in, sit bones out, and now lower all the way down. So the chest, remember this is a strong reference, the chest lowers first, then the hip follows. And by time, when you lower down here, lower down, push back, you will build the strength. Lower down, push back, do this a couple times, and then your vinyasa will feel very organic, very smooth, and enjoyable. Oftentimes, we do the vinyasa, and once we return to down dog, we go straight into the second side. So let's do this. Downward facing dog, lift the left knee, look to the front, step between the hands. Maybe help yourself. Boom. Prepare. And then here we go. High lunge, rising up. Now center the hands and squeeze the palms. Right elbow, left knee, twist. Boom. Good. Breathe, hold. Keep squeezing the palms together so you have this strong structure and stability. Now slow motion, the art of slowness, remember. Reverse warrior, right heel down, left arm up. And then straighten the left leg. Maybe shorten the stand. I always do it. And then I lean forward and to my shin or to my ankles for second side. Now as well here we have different variations. Check it out. Let's do it right again. Rebuild it. Option 1, you grab the block, level 1. Level 2, you tap on your ankle, face down. And level 3, left arm is floating and we're just holding and hovering here. So it's floating triangle pose. It's level 3. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale. Now let's do the vinyasa. Hands down. Step back and lower down. Remember, the chest first, elbow tight on the body, upward facing and downward facing. Good. Now I feel a little bit overwhelmed. I take a moment, maybe child's pose, maybe something to drink. So it is very important to understand that when you're starting your power yoga practice, it takes time. Your body needs to adapt. You need to get familiar with the peak postures. You need to get familiar with the alignment cues. You need to get familiar with transitioning the movement patterns. They're very complex and they're very demanding. But it's like learning a new language. It takes time, it takes repetition, and then sooner or later it will be your second nature. We have hundreds of postures, but we only have a few alignment principles. So once you truly understand and can really adjust to the alignment principles, you can apply them to the hundreds and hundreds of postures. It's very simple. And as well with the flow sequences, in the beginning it's overwhelming, sometimes it's too fast, but over the time it will be very much, we will repeat a lot of things and it will feel great and you just flow through and have a lot of joy. So be patient in the beginning, you learn and progress quite quickly, and then the true joy and the enormous value of the practice will unfold naturally and beautifully. So with this, now we have 2 float sequences. We did them. Well done. Let's continue entering the next chapter, which is more drills and technical training. I always incorporate into my classes because those drills and those technical training will be very specific to a certain muscle group or a certain mobility sequence to just, target and improve and focus with great intensity on a certain aspect. So today we do for our shoulder, we start with the shoulders and we do scapula push-ups or micro push-ups, however you want to call it. We start in level 1, which is on the knees, on the hands. And from here, remember, the eyes of the elbows, you make them look to the front. So you lock your elbows. And from here, you lower down and you push. Lower down from the shoulders. The shoulder blades squeeze together and you push. So you widen the space between the shoulder blades. In the beginning, you can maybe not feel it so good. You have the tendency to bend your arms. Don't do it. Keep them straight. And just isolate the part of your shoulder blades. That's where you move from. And try to get the full range and the full spectrum of the movement. Lower down and the push-up. That's how we do it. And you noticed after 10, 15 reps, even in this position, your muscles are operating. You are doing work. Then, because it can be pressure on the forearms or on the wrist, shake it out. And we do it again. Now maybe level 2, when you feel ready, step back into plank position, look slightly forward and lower and push. Lower and push. Scapula push-ups right here. Let's go. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Well done. Now you noticed maybe I started to count. Counting is one principle as well. We use it, especially as teachers, to create a frame and a focus. So the student doesn't have to wonder, how long are we going to do it? It's very clear. I count from 5 to 1 and you squeeze out some reps. Now we will play final round. We do 3 rounds. We're gonna do active, lower, and push. So what we did before. And in the end, I want that we push and we hold the push. Okay? We hold the full plank. This is really fun. Shake out the hands, the wrist. And then here we go. To plank. And we lower and push. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and push, hold, push, push, draw the navel in. The fingers, all of the 10 fingers are very strong and engaged for 8, 7, 6. Look slightly forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. Nice. Once again, cross and shake, sway the arms, release. Good, we're moving on from the shoulders to the core. That is very simple. We're gonna sit as a seated posture. We're gonna grab the hamstrings and we draw them in. Now basically we already are in Navasana posture. It's nice. Why do we grab the hamstring? This helps us for alignment reason. Because we want to now lift the chest, straighten the spine. And in the end, we want to bring the ankles in alignment with the knees. And once this is accomplished, arms forward, breathe and hold. It's a static movement, a static posture. Breathe, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and break. Cross the legs. Option 1, you just relax here. Option 2, you take a little stretch to the front. Both is great. Good, well done. Now, let's encounter our second stage. So level 2 of Navasana posture. Bring the block. If you don't have a block, maybe take a book or a ball. Squeeze it, take the hamstring and lift. Now, once again, arms forward, front side focus and deep full body breathing. Squeeze the block. Go into the middle line. Lift the chest. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze the block more for 5. I want that your muscles are shaking. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, good. Block to the side. Now we take a different method. Extend your legs and just tap your feet. It's nice to release here. And then shake the toes. Woo, left and right. Tap it once again. Sometimes if you feel like you're getting a cramp, what you can do, it's really, really good, is that you take your fists and you drum along your legs here. Good. Now the final stage, we go for round number. Now let's go for round number 3. We will remove the block. We grab the hamstring, but this time I want that you point your toes and you extend your legs. Yes, extend your legs and arms forward. Let's go. Breathe. Full focus. If it's too much, then do just level 2 again. But if you can, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, break. And another counter here. Tap the feet to the ground, hands back, fingers pointing outwards. And now simply lift your hips, squeeze the glutes, and lower down again. Couple times. Squeeze the glutes and lower. Last one. Now try to face the ceiling and breathe. Another full breath in and out. Beautiful. Cross the legs. And after the core now, we will do a final strength drill. And that is already going upside down, focusing on our inversion. How do we do it? We're going to place the hands, solid foundation, as if you would go for plank pose. Yeah, that's how your arms and your hands are positioned. Now, most important, I want that you focus at the front and you maintain a front focus. And now you shift to down dog. Lift one leg. And what we're going to do is you keep that left leg straight and you're going to do little jumps, but very small ones. Jump and land. And jump and land. I'm counting 1, 2, we go to 5, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Take a moment. Shake the wrist. I hope you did it as I said. Very small, very precise. The biggest problem with aiming for the handstand is that we, once again, remember, rush the process. We rush the journey. And that leads to maybe injury. That means to losing control and falling wildly in any direction. That means you're learning wrong habits. And all this we can avoid by reducing the intensity and doing really small, precise steps and progress and build confidence and build body strength till we go higher and higher. So level 1 in our handstand practice is exactly what we did right now. Placing the hands, affirming that each of your fingertips is strong and engaged. Then you send it back, you straighten one leg and you keep it straight. Now you look forward and then from here a little jump, just a little. I'm not even aiming for the handstand. Okay? This is how we do it. So, together, shake the wrist. In between, always get some fresh blood into the fingertips. And then send hands down. Now let's go to the second side. Extend your right leg, look to the front, and little jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. 6, 7. Excellent. Take a break. Always a good idea now to drink something, to once again shake the wrist. Another great way to do is like a wave, a standing wave, to neutralize the pressure in your wrist. This you can always do. Good. Now we accomplished our strength drill chapter. Let's move on into 2 stretches. The first stretch I want to show you is the straddle. In my opinion, it's the most important stretch of all. That's why we do it first. With straddle, sometimes really, really difficult. When you feel like very stuck in this posture and there is not much space to open up, then please grab the hands behind and just lean back. Lift the chest and enjoy the stretch. The biggest mistake, let's call it, in stretching and in slowing down the practice is that we now still believe we have to forcefully engage and we have to fully commit and to push into with strength and intensity. And it could not be further from the truth, because now with the slowing down, with the stretches, we want to start relaxing. We already start to start the recovery process. So when we talk about a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 is like a brutal stretch where you can scream, then we want to find ourselves maybe 5 or 6. So you feel the stretch, but it's nice. When you're happy with this one here and you feel like you have the chance to go a little deeper, bring the arms to the front and walk a little into a forward fold. But be very careful, because what we want to avoid is that we want to avoid collapsing into our stretch. So when I do this, it doesn't look good, It doesn't really look confident, doesn't look professional. It's just collapsing into my forward fold, and I want to avoid. I want to lift my chest with grace and then walk forward. And if I feel like there is my limit, I stay, I pause, and I breathe. Maybe after a few breathing cycles, I can go again a little deeper. Close your eyes. Take another deep breath in. Open the mouth, exhale. Good. Slowly return. The second stretch. Bring the feet together and we will lay down on the ground. And we tap the feet a little wider than the hips. With the fingers, we touch the heels. And we relax the head. Now, when you feel prepared, inhale, lift the hip, lift the arms into a shoulder bridge, and exhale, lower again. We will do this a couple more times. Inhale, lift the hip, hold at the peak, and with the exhale, relax. One more time. Inhale. Hold at the peak. This time lift your toes and just with the heels squeeze one more time into the ground. Feel the glutes. And exhale, return. Fabulous. Now, grab your hamstrings and just roll into a seated posture. Because I want to tell you, we're going now into our restoring posture, into Shavasana. And for this, we're gonna simply lay down. I give you a demonstration. We get the feet a little wider apart. We get the arms a little wider apart. And we just surrender. We just let go and relax. Sometimes, though, it's nice to have a pillow underneath your knees, or to put on some warm socks, or to drink something before you lay down. Sometimes it's nice to cover your eyes or to just cover your entire body with a blanket. So what I want to tell you is treat yourself here. This is about restoring. This is about full recover mood. This is about treating yourself and having, entering a state of high well-being. So let's do it. If you don't have anything, like in my case, then no problem. We just lay down, arms to the side, palms facing the ceiling, and we close the eyes. Now let's do something beautiful for ourselves. Grab your fingers and just massage your jaw muscles a little bit. Tap your jaw muscles. And then soften again. Bring your arms to the side body. Close your eyes. Gonna be here around 2 minutes, listening inward and allowing the body to restore. There might be some new elements, some new movements for you today. Maybe it was challenging and intense. Maybe it was the first time you encountered yoga. So in Shavasana, we take our time to regenerate, to integrate, and to truly enjoy. Take a deep breath in again. Move your toes and your fingers. If it feels good, you can stretch your arms overhead. And then return to a seated posture. Ground through your sit bones, lift your spine and bring your hands in front of you or place them on your knees. Close your eyes. Now to finish the practice, I will guide you through a short breathing sequence. Allows you to be present with yourself. First, exhale the air. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Open mouth, exhale. Another one. Deep breath in, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath a little longer. And open mouth, exhale. And a final one. Deep breath in for 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. And exhale. All the air out. Good. Smile to yourself. Bring the hands to your chest. And then one more time, stretch to the ground. Wonderful. Thank you for being part of this practice, for sharing the practice, for sharing these great moments. This is a great accomplishment. I can congratulate you if this was your first yoga or you're now really want to engage into power yoga. Well done. Remember, after the practice, it's good to drink, to make a green smoothie, or to eat or drink some proteins, so we can truly convert the intensity to the struggle, yeah, the heat, the fire of the practice. We can convert it through nutrition into more strength, into more power, into more joy and vitality and energy. So food is an important component of the training, of the practice. So be wisely and treat yourself. So this was the breakdown, the practice breakdown. Usually, the next practice we will encounter together, I will talk way less, because now it was more a workshop style. I was informing you about a lot of details. But in the next, we will just practice together with new elements. There will be a different rhythm, a different intensity. But I'm really looking forward. And this one, once again, thumbs up, high five, and then see you in the next one.